you kind of show us on the screen, so we're looking straight down on the cut section, which part of the section would be like towards the head and then towards the rear?
Yeah, the bottom section down here, this would be towards the tail of the fish.
Okay.
And then as we move forward towards the head, this is the leading edge, or the side of the fin that's going to be closest to the head, and that's going to be a lot smaller fin rays.
And each of these are the rays that you talked about. You want to cut in at least 5.
Right.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, exactly.
5, 6.
Yeah. And in each fin ray is composed of 2 of these sections. So this constitutes one fin ray as you see it, but it's actually divided up in a fin that way.
Okay.
So to go on to how we actually get the ages off these fish, I'll zoom in a little bit here, adjust the light so that the intensity is good, and we can also focus in a little bit better. The basic premise behind getting ages off of these is there's a difference in growth rate throughout a fish's life between the summer and the fall, a lot like a tree. In the summer, they're going to grow really fast. The fin rays are not going to be as dense, and then once you get into the winter months, their growth slows down. And what you're seeing here between these light bands and these dark bands is the difference between growth rates in the fall, or in the summer and in the winter. So in order to age this fish, we start in the middle. This is when the fish was born, and the fish is going to grow, and it's going to grow outwards.
Okay.
So every line or every annuli that we hit is going to be 1 year worth of growth. So in this fish, we'd start at 0, we go to age 1, age 2, age 3, age 4, and then this dark part here is the growth in the summer. When it was 4 years old, we caught this fish in the spring the next year, so we count the outer edge. That would be age 5. So I would estimate this as an age 5 fish. That's how we would calculate that. And that's just an estimate.
Nice.
Using these fin rays, it's not a validated structure. It's not a definite age. This is as close as we think. That's why we call it an age estimate and not an age determination. A little bit of a difference there. Next, what we would do... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just referring to what was the size of this particular fish?
Yep, that's what I was going to jump into. So we have this sample, and I don't know if you can hold this up. Like I said, this is a fish taken out of peat and well flowage, and it was a 34.8 inch fish. It was a female. We know that because it was expelling eggs when we caught it. And that was a 5-year-old fish. We would estimate that as a 5-year-old fish. That's pretty typical growth rates. I would say that's right in the middle. That's common for a female on the Wisconsin River.
Now you're going to show us another sample?
Yeah. What we have on the screen right now is that 5-year-old fish we saw before, and we're going to compare that to a larger fish that was caught out, just so you can see the difference in what their fin rays look like. So I'll swap that sample out and put a new sample in and zoom in here a little bit. And right off the bat you can see it's not nearly as definable for each ages. They don't pop out nearly as well, and that tends to be the case for the larger fish we have. If I was going to age this one, it'd definitely take a little bit more time to figure out what is actually what in there. You're probably looking at an inner ear right here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and once you get out past 7 years, it becomes a lot more difficult to figure out what is what. So what we can do is zoom way in, move this over a little bit, and you can kind of see some of the annuli on the outer edge, particularly up in the corner, or down in the corner down here. You see these real faint lines. Those are probably annuli. So if we pick up from 7, probably go 8, 9, 10, 11, and maybe 12, and I can't really see anything out past that, but I'm assuming there's ages out there, but they're just difficult to see. So maybe even 15 or 16-year-old fish. That would be a guess. And this is a 46-inch female. So you can see the difference in growth rates.
Yep.
This would be a tough sample to use in our estimates of survival or growth rates because it's so unclear. We like to have a little bit more exact or a little bit more confined age than what this is. We'd have to do a little bit more manipulation before we could use this in one of our estimates. But you can just see the difference in how they grow. With that 5-year-old fish, the spacing between the annuli was rather large, whereas you can see on the outer edge here they're packed together really closely, and that's because I think, as most of you know, as they grow larger and older, they grow less each year, and that's transferred through to their fin rays as well.